Hey Steelers Nation, what's up everybody? The season's flying by, and here we are already staring down what feels like the halfway point of the grind. It's wild, right? Ever since the league switched to 17 games, there's no clean midpoint anymore, but when your team sits at 5 wins and 3 losses and is packing up for a trip to Los Angeles, it kind of feels like the perfect time to pause and look around. This is when you really get to see who's stepping up, who's learning fast, and who's still finding their place in the black and gold. So let's talk about this rookie class of 2025, the young blood trying to carve out their future in Pittsburgh. Let's start with one of the quiet stories that might turn loud down the road, Dante Kent. This kid was the second pick in the 7th round, a cornerback with blazing speed and real potential. But his season hasn't even gotten off the ground. That right ankle injury in August put him on injured reserve before he could even show us what he's got. And even though he's eligible to come back, the team hasn't activated him, which tells you something. They're thinking long-term. They see him as a project, a piece for the future, not just a stopgap. Still, people inside the organization haven't forgotten what they saw in Latrobe during training camp. That raw speed, those quick reads, the ability to stay glued to receivers. That kind of talent doesn't vanish because of one injury. This isn't his year, but his story's just beginning. Right above him in the draft came Carson Bruner, another 7th rounder. And if his name sounds familiar, it's because he's the son of former Steelers tight end Mark Bruner. And man, you can see that legacy. He's got that classic work ethic, the kind that makes coaches smile and teammates trust you on special teams. That's been his main role so far, flying down the field on kick coverage, setting the tone, doing the dirty work nobody talks about but everyone respects. Sure, the highlight plays have slowed down a bit since the early weeks, but he's consistent. He's reliable, and those are the kind of guys that stick around. He's the type of player you look at and say, yeah, this guy might be here for a while. Moving up the draft board, you've got Will Howard, and man, he's already become a fan favorite, even though he hasn't taken a single snap in a real NFL game yet. It's kind of funny, right? The hype's there, the love from the fans is there, but the opportunities haven't been. He hurt that finger in the preseason, missed valuable time, and now he's fighting to catch up. He's practicing again, back with the group, but when you look at the depth chart, you realize he's still buried behind Aaron Rodgers and Mason Rudolph. And honestly, even if something happened to both of them, I think Skylar Thompson would probably get the call first. That's just how things line up right now. It's not a knock on Will. It's just how this league works. He's got talent, he's got presence, but he's got a lot of ground to make up before next summer if he wants to be in that quarterback conversation moving forward. Then there's Wyatt Black, the 5th round pick who's been a bit of a mystery this season. And look, I'll be real here. It's not about him underperforming. It's more about how the team's using him. The guy's built like a tank, the perfect run stopper, the kind of defensive lineman who's supposed to clog up lanes and bat down passes. When he was drafted, I think a lot of fans, and maybe even some of the coaches, thought he'd make an immediate impact. But the snap counts haven't really gone up. He's been in a limited role, and you start to wonder why. Maybe it's just the rotation, maybe it's the veterans ahead of him, but either way, we haven't seen him lock down a permanent spot yet. There's still plenty of potential there, no doubt, but it just hasn't clicked. Now, one guy who started to make a name for himself lately is Jack Sawyer, the 4th round pick. He just came off the biggest moment of his young career, that interception against the Colts. That's the kind of play that gets coaches' attention real quick. When all the edge rushers are producing, it's easy for a young guy to get lost in the mix, but Sawyer showed up. Plays like that give the staff confidence to use more rotation, keep guys fresh, and trust that whoever's out there can make something happen. I'll be honest, I wasn't totally sold on him at first. Maybe that's because Pittsburgh's spoiled at the edge position. We've had monsters come through here, game changers, and it's easy to compare. But Sawyer's doing his job, learning, growing, finding his rhythm. And that pick against Indy, that might be the moment he looks back on one day as the turning point. Now let's talk about the 3rd rounder, Caleb Johnson. And I've got to say, this kid's one of the most interesting stories from the class. At Iowa, he was the guy. Every down, every drive, the offense ran through him. So coming into the NFL, having to share touches, having to wait his turn, that's a huge mental adjustment. Early in the season, you could almost see it on him. Not that he was sulking, but it was like, man, I'm not used to this. When you've been the centerpiece your whole career and suddenly you're not, that can shake you a little. But to his credit, he's handled it like a pro. He's embraced every carry, every rep, every special team snap he's gotten since. He's erased that early season kick return mistake and shown flashes of what he can be. Remember that 4-yard burst through the middle against the Colts? It wasn't flashy, but it was strong, decisive, and it showed the kind of running he's capable of. He might not be a breakout star this year, but his time's coming. And that kind of leads into a bigger point about this rookie class. Production-wise, the numbers don't jump off the page. You don't have a guy lighting up the stat sheet yet. But that doesn't mean this group's not contributing. There's development happening behind the scenes, in practice, in film sessions, in the way they're adapting to the Steelers culture. And that includes the top pick of the bunch, first-rounder Derek Harmon. Now, when you get drafted 21st overall as a defensive lineman, expectations are sky high. Fans want sacks, pressures, hits, the whole package. Harmon started the year banged up, but since getting back, he's played 6 games, collected 2 sacks, 6 pressures, 13 tackles, and 1 missed tackle. On paper, that's decent, but maybe not spectacular. Still, here's the thing that stats don't show: his impact against the run. Ask around the locker room, and you'll hear guys say that Harmon's helped stabilize the front. It's not about racking up tackles. It's about occupying blockers, closing gaps, forcing running backs to bounce outside. That's what he's doing. You look at the tape, and you'll notice offensive coordinators avoiding his side. That's respect right there, even if it doesn't show up in the box score. He's also got that maturity you love to see in a young player. He's only 22, but he acts like a veteran, always talking with the older guys, asking questions, soaking up knowledge. He's constantly learning, not just from Cam Hayward, but from those unsung rotational linemen who grind every day without headlines. That kind of attitude matters. It's what turns a talented rookie into a real difference maker. So yeah, when you step back and look at this entire rookie class, there's a lot to like. It's not flashy, it's not filled with instant stars, but it's steady. It's developmental. It's the kind of class that might look quiet now, but could explode next season once these guys get a full offseason of growth and a better sense of where they fit in this system. That's what you want if you're building something sustainable. Pittsburgh's foundation is still defense, still toughness, still that blue-collar identity. And these young players are learning what that means day by day. Now, heading into Los Angeles, the real test is coming. Everyone's wondering if last week's defensive dominance against the Colts was a turning point or just a one-week thing. And look, I get it. Fans want reassurance. They want to believe the corner's been turned. But this next game is going to show how real that progress is. The Chargers have one of the most productive quarterbacks in the league in Justin Herbert, a guy who can beat you with his arm or his legs. The Steelers' defense is going to have to be sharp, disciplined, and hungry. They'll need the pass rush to show up, the secondary to stay locked in, and the rookies to keep rising. On offense, there's work to do. The running game's got to find life again after a quiet performance against Indianapolis. The receivers and tight ends need to get separation, make plays, help out Aaron Rodgers. And while it's easy to point fingers at the quarterback when things don't click, that's not where the problem was last week. It's about rhythm, chemistry, execution, all those little things that separate good teams from great ones. And that's really the heart of it right now. This team doesn't need validation from rankings or analysts. They don't need to prove themselves to anyone outside that locker room. They just need to get better. Every week, every snap, every series. The playoffs aren't the goal if you're not built to win when you get there. It's about peaking at the right time, about stacking performances that lead somewhere. And that starts with consistency. No more cliffs, no more steps back. Just steady, honest growth from a team that's got all the tools to make noise. And from a rookie class that's quietly learning how to become the next wave of Steelers greats. And as we turn the page toward the second half of the season, there's this feeling around the Steelers that something is brewing beneath the surface. It's not loud or flashy, but it's there a quiet confidence that this group is still building into who they want to be. You can sense it in the locker room, in the way players talk after practice, in the way the coaches push every single rep like it could decide a season. There's no talk about shortcuts, no one leaning on excuses, And that's what separates this franchise from so many others. Even when things look uneven, even when the offense sputters or the defense bends, there's always that core belief that if you keep grinding, the payoff comes. The veterans have taken it upon themselves to set the tone. Cam Hayward, still the emotional center of this defense, has been working closely with the young linemen, especially Derek Harmon. You'll see them side by side during warm-ups, talking technique, hand placement, footwork. Hayward doesn't sugarcoat things, and that's exactly what these rookies need. He's constantly reminding them that playing for the Steelers isn't just about stats or highlight plays. It's about holding your ground, doing your job, and trusting the guy next to you. Harmon has soaked that in, and you can already see it in how he's adjusting mid-game, recognizing blocking schemes faster, getting off the line cleaner. The coaches have noticed too. They're not ready to unleash him completely yet, but he's right there, scratching at that starting role. On the offensive side, the story's all about growth. Caleb Johnson continues to push himself in practice, working on patience and timing. The speed of the NFL game still catches him off guard sometimes, but you can see him learning to read the holes, waiting for his blockers, hitting gaps with authority. When you talk to teammates about him, they all say the same thing. The kid is hungry. He doesn't back down from contact. He doesn't shy away from mistakes, and he's got that quiet fire that coaches love. If he keeps trending the way he's going to be one of those players who suddenly explodes in year 2, and people will look back and say, we should have seen that coming. Well, Howard's situation remains one of patience. Quarterback is the hardest position to transition into, and missing an entire preseason set him back more than anyone wanted. But in recent weeks, he's been getting more comfortable running the scout team offense, reading defenses, and showing off that arm talent that made him such an intriguing pick in the first place. The coaches love his leadership qualities. Even without playing, he's been active in film study, helping receivers understand route adjustments, and you can tell the locker room respects his energy. He knows this year might not bring his debut, but the work he's putting in now will pay off later. That's the long game Pittsburgh's always been good at playing. Jack Sawyer's momentum from that interception against Indianapolis could not have come at a better time. The defense feeds on energy, and when a young guy steps up, it's contagious. The rotation at edge rusher is deeper now, giving the veterans more rest and keeping everyone fresher for the fourth quarter. Sawyer's still polishing his technique. Sometimes he'll overcommit on the outside rush, but you can tell he's starting to trust his instincts. He's fast, physical, and relentless, and in this defense, that combination is gold. If he keeps stacking performances, he could become one of those under-the-radar success stories by season's end. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In a move that has quickly set tongues wagging across the NFL, the Pittsburgh Steelers are reportedly closing in on signing Michael Barrett, a young defensive talent whose name has been steadily climbing draft boards and highlight reels alike. Sources suggest the deal is all but done, signaling the Steelers' bold intent to shake up their defensive core with a fresh injection of youth and athleticism. Barrett, known for his relentless pursuit on the field and uncanny ability to read quarterbacks, has long been touted as a player with game-changing potential. And now, whispers around Hines Field hint that the organization is ready to roll the dice on his promise. The buzz is that Barrett could bring exactly the type of energy the Steelers have been craving on defense. After a series of seasons marked by inconsistency and the struggle to maintain dominance in the AFC North, Pittsburgh appears eager to recalibrate. The chatter in locker rooms and social media alike paints a picture of a team on the cusp of transformation, one where Barrett could immediately step in and make his presence felt. Analysts are speculating how his style, aggressive, fast, and instinct-driven, might fit alongside veteran stalwarts, potentially redefining the defensive schemes that have long been a hallmark of Pittsburgh football. Fans have not been shy with their excitement. In online forums and stadium seats alike, the rumor of Barrett's signing has sparked a wave of anticipation. Could he be the spark that reignites the Steelers' defensive dominance? Or is this a high-stakes gamble on raw potential over proven experience? The team's front office, as always, remains tight-lipped, but insiders suggest the energy surrounding Barrett is palpable. If the deal goes through as rumored, expect headlines, debate, and heated discussion in the coming weeks as fans and pundits alike dissect what this young star could mean for a franchise steeped in defensive legacy. While nothing is official yet, the mere suggestion that Pittsburgh is targeting Barrett has created a ripple effect. Players, commentators, and rival teams alike are taking note. In a league driven by momentum, one signing could change the conversation overnight. And if Barrett lives up to the whispers, the Steelers might just have discovered the defensive dynamo they've been waiting for. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Pittsburgh Steelers, make sure to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.